Welcome to watch this training. This is the second part. Introduction to curves. In this part, I will introduce the line types, curvature, and curvature of the stitching curve. First, it is the relationship between the curves and the surfaces. I mentioned in the first part that the surfaces are created by curves. So the curves are the basis of surfaces. If you want to create a high-quality surface, it is necessary to create a high-quality curve. So the curves are crucial in the creation of surface modeling. There have three line types in ZW3D. The first is the through-point curve. The point is in the curve. You can modify the black points to adjust the curve. Next is the control point curve. You can modify the blue points to adjust the curves. Both the through-point curve and control point curve belong to the parametric curve. Through points and control points are the two most common and controllable ways of drawing curves. The other method to create the curve is the blend command. It is usually used to make an inaccurate curve. It belongs to the non-parametric curve. Next, it's the curvature, which is an important concept in the curve. It represents the degree of curvature at a certain point and shows in the form of the curvature cone. We can judge the quality of the curve by curvature. There have two important parameters of the curvature: anchor point and degree. The anchor point is a point that defines the shape of the curve. The degree is the order in the function represented by the curve. The relationship between them is the degree equals the anchor point minus 1. Finally, it is the curvature of the stitching curve. In general, you can't create a complicated curve at one time or need to create a spline to connect the edge of another surface. At this time, if you want to get a high-quality surface, you need to control the curvature of the stitching curve. There have three continuities and their curvature. They are G0, G1, and G2 respectively. G0 means the two curves are connecting only, and the connection of the curvature cones of the two curves is not aligned. G1 means the two curves are tangent, and the connection of the curvature cones of the two curves is aligned. G2 means the two curves are not only tangent, but also have the same curvature. The joints of the curvature cones of the two curves are connected together. You can select the corresponding continuities based on what you want. Okay, let's move on ZW3D to show more detail to you. First, let's create a sketch using the spline to create the curve. This is the through-point curve. You can modify the curve position by the black point. Double-click this curve and you can see there has the option is that convert to control point curve. Click it can convert this curve into the control point curve. You can modify the curve position by the brown control point. It can also back to the thought point curve by this option in the same position. The curvature cone can be displayed when you check this option, and the density of the curvature cone can be adjusted in there. But you can see when I confirm, the curvature cone disappears. So usually, we turn on the curvature cone in the right mouse, click the curve, and select the display curvature cone. Next, I will introduce the curvature of the stitching curve. First, I create a new curve, and then create another connecting curve. Display their curvature cone. Next, add the constraint for them. On the one side, add the tangent constraint. You can see the curvature is not well, so need to adjust the point to let them have a good status. We need to adjust the spline carefully to get a good quality spline. It is a basis for the creation of excellent quality surface. This curvature cone is not smooth, because it is in a low degree. We need to add the degree to let the curvature cone smooth. Now, these two curves are tangent, which means the continuity of these two curves is G1. You can see the connection of the curvature cones of the two curves is aligned. On the other side, add the equal curvature constraint. These two curvature is G2 continuity. The joints of the curvature cones of the two curves are connected together. Maybe the curvature cone is not suitable to check. We can modify the curvature scale to ensure that we can observe the relationship between these two curvature cones. Okay, after showing the parametric curve, I show you the non-parametric curve. This non-parametric curve is created by the blend command. We delete this spline. Use the blend command to create a new spline. There has a difference between the before connected curve. It can create the flow. It means the continuity between these two curves is G3. Select the flow on one side and select the curvature on the other side to create the curve. And then check them. You can see that the curvature cone G2 and G3 are the same. The joints of the curvature cones of the two curves are connected. Okay, this is all the content of this video. Thanks for your watching.